finish creating something with it. So yeah, that's the aim. So I've started a new project in Unreal. We're in version 4.25, I believe, 0.3 or something. Does it tell us if we go in about? Yeah, 25.2 is what we're on. And it shouldn't particularly matter. I don't know if they've changed much in this area for a while. But the first thing we're going to do, one of the things that makes the AI just work TM in Unreal is and often with many engines, I'm sure, is the Navmesh. The Navmesh is what we call, it's meshes normally represent like a structure of like polygons and that, right, which is typically used for static meshes like the models that we see in game. For a navigational mesh is essentially like a plane, so it's still using like vectors and faces and whatever to form a mesh, but that mesh is used to represent space, like points in space that an object can navigate to. And often game engines will have a system to generate that automatically. You can give it a scene with some blocks on it, and then you can just chuck down a nav mesh volume over it, or nav mesh bounds volume, I think it's called in Unreal, and then it'll generate which areas look like they should be walkable on, and this is based on like the gradient of them, and you can tweak these things to my understanding. So we're going to start off through just expanding out our play area a bit. I think so. How big's an actor in here? I mean, I guess, yeah, we'll make this a little bit bigger to begin with. Let me just scale it out by 2, I think. Those should be fine. That's enough playing space for us. And so the nav mesh volume, to my understanding, is, if we type in nav mesh up here, there we go. So we have a modifier volume. Allows a playing selected area class to nav mesh using volume shape. 100% how that works, but maybe you can just add an extra section to it. So this is the thing we're looking to use. You see it has a radius, or as a square, maybe we should say it has some extents that we can modify. We go ahead and find this in our world outlier. Oh my words, outlier. Outliner now. Let me also type. I don't often place things in, so I kind of like to have it out the way a bit this window. This is something we'll use more often. Okay, so then we have our details panel over here, and this is where we can say how big we want this box to be. That's the one. And drag. Oops, no, let's try drag that. There we go. Right, so we want it to cover the width of this. That's around 2000. Oh, it's probably exactly 2000 if I doubled it. Probably 1000 by 1000 to begin. And as long as it overlaps this content, it's the floor, it's fine. So if we go ahead and press P now, I believe that green color there will show you the generated nav mesh. Like that area is, all of those are valid points that an AI controller, or an AI controller doesn't need to be like enemy. That can be NPCs, good things as well. They can choose a point from anywhere within this green area as a place where it can stand. And typically, because like characters tend to have a certain size to them, you wouldn't want it to go right to this edge, otherwise they could stand right on that corner edge, right? And that would look stupid. So that's why it doesn't quite go to the edges, and you'll see as we place down a few more shapes. So if I just put down a cube, for example. There we go. We'll put it on the floor, sorry, initially. And you can see that it's got a shape around it now. I'm not too sure why it isn't particularly a straight angle there. It's probably just based on how it's trying to minimize the amount of vertices it uses and that, I guess. I don't know exactly. You can see the shape of it kind of changes a little as you move it. That's just, as I said, likely due to where the vertices and that are in this. We can't quite see where all the dots are joining up. But it's going to be a massive series of triangles, this is. Okay, so we can add a few obstacles into here. Let's add another one as well. And let's scale this one out longer. And we'll do one more of these. This direction. Take it around. We should be able to, sorry, I changed my my movement speed to really slow earlier. Let's get these closer together. At the moment, it thinks it can get up on the top, which is interesting. I'm not too sure why it thinks that. But let's just press the end key to make sure these are all on the floor as well. When I intersect with that, it's interesting. I don't know why. It thinks it can get up there all of a sudden. But no, okay, it's got a bit of a walking space on top. Oh, that's all it is, I think, actually. So what it was is we're creating more surface area here. So we'd probably get a similar thing if we widened this, I'd imagine. And so the part of it today is understanding Navmesh a bit more as well. Yeah, can you see? So it needs a certain amount of width, like we said earlier, for the sake of the character having room to stand there. Yeah, we need a certain amount of width. So what was happening is when we brought this closer, we were giving it that width that it kind of needed. So it can generate that. So yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Let's just expand these out a little bit. I also want to expand this one out then. I want it to be... No, actually, leave the cube as it is, but we'll extend this one to be a bit fatter. And then we'll just give it a... this as a point on the end of it. Let's... around here. We were going to make this a bit fatter, so it's also a like walkway. There you go. That should just do fine for us for now. We got a little bit of an L shape, and then we've got this cube over here. And what we're going to start off from doing is just trying to understand like what we can do with this Navmesh. In order to explore it, we're probably just going to make a simple AI controller that's going to be able to just follow a target in space, and then we can see how it uses that Navmesh. That is the intention to begin with. Okay, so first off, let's look at this Navmesh and see what options we kind of have for it. So Navmesh, we have the position of it. Oh yeah, we should actually see. So if we move it down, everything's still fine, but you can see it now no longer covers the tops of these. So we don't, that is no longer navigable. Whereas if we moved it up, we would probably only get those tops once we bring it into range. There we go, yeah, like that. So it's whatever is encompassed within that, that's the right bloody word, but go with it, within that area. All right, so yeah, settings we have here then. Let's widen this out a little bit so we can see the name of some of these things a bit better, because they're quite large field names we've got here. So yeah, these are standard navigation, support all agents. We don't seem to be able to change that here. Fill collision underneath Navmesh. If set, Navmesh will not be generated under the surface of geometry. Doesn't look like it's been done already. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that means exactly. Curious whether what would happen with... Oh, were we meant to move? Hold on. I just moved the floor up. My mistake. Let's get this Navmesh. Let's make it a little bit taller, shall we? Let's, where's the extents here? Let's just make this 500. Should then cover everything, right? Yeah, happily. Alright, so I'm wondering, do we get anything on the underside of these? I'm pretty sure we don't. I'm just wondering if that's what that doesn't seem to be. Okay, that's fine. Let's just whack that back on the floor. Oh, hold on. What about under geometry? In that way, it maybe means it. Hold on. No, that doesn't change anything either. Hello there, beautiful Merlin. How you doing? Welcome to the chat and welcome to your 2 weeks holiday. I hope you're happy to see them, good sir. There's a certain distance where it does impact it as well, isn't it? You can see by there, whatever height that is. No problem, Brian. I'm glad you're doing great as well, Merlin. I know you've had a tough month or so, so nice to hear that you're feeling positive, man. Okay, so we're not too sure, let's be fair, what that is doing. This fill collision underneath Navmesh, that's not a problem. We're generally not going to play with this because you wouldn't want it to generate hit events, I'd imagine. It's being used for navigation, so we leave it like that. Alright, brush settings, hollow, tessellated. tessellation works. Oh, you can see that it means that this bound area can now be, it doesn't have to be like a perfect rectangle. We can tessellate it and make it like a bumpy area. I don't know when you would do that. Why couldn't you just put a box over a tessellated like floor? I'm not too sure. Okay, and then it's in the persistent level. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's anything else in there for us. Okay, so that's all I kind of know of it, but we're going to try and just make a little character for now then. This is a new project as well, so I think we should probably look at a bit of a folder structure so we can keep things tidy as well. So I've got my levels so far. Let's just make a few, not classes, folders I wanted to make. Let's just start with blueprints. We might end up having like AI stuff as well to go down that route. Okay, and so to begin with, we're just going to make an actor that is going to move around. That's the plan to begin with. So it's going to be a character with an AI controller. So we want to make a new blueprint class. It's going to be from character. This is going to be PvP simple chase character. Just call it that for now. Open up this blueprint. Save that. Oh, those stars always upset me. It's already got facing direction now. We don't have a mesh for it, and I'm not really fussed how this looks either. So for our mesh, let's just choose whatever's available for us, should we? Oh, beautiful T-pose. They're always scary. What do we have? Oh. Oh, I guess it needs to be a skeletal mesh, right? That's interesting. Can we make it a little taller then? It needs to be around 6 times the height. Down. Can we get the side view from here, please? The pivot point for this, I wonder. Oh, it's going to be central, isn't it? That's one thing I always find confusing with these. Hey, brain, welcome back. Just take it up. Beautiful. I think we actually, to be honest, we might as well just use that T-poser, but we'll take that scale back to 1. There we go, because at least it fits in it a bit nicer. Okay, so we've got that. That's the first thing, but what we want to do also is add an AI controller onto this, because for anything that's going to be using behavior trees or automatically navigating the nav meshes, you'll be using an AI controller for it, because that has the functionality to kind of query that nav mesh, and there's some built-in functionality that make things. You could probably do one yourself, but that's why we use game engines, we don't have to do everything ourselves. So let's put on a AI controller. Do we not have controller? Why do we not have a controller? Do I need to make my own controller? There was an AI controller in here.
No, they.
Or do you just select it from the controllers are not like components? You just associate it with it in the character, do you? Hold on.
You should create your own
controller, AI controller class, AI. Yeah, so you make a class and you link it there. You don't add it as a component. I guess that's what I got confused with a little bit there. Merlin, what do you do when you don't do ship, by the way? You play games, or do you watch TV, or do you sleep? Outdoors? Okay, so we can make our own one of these. Let's go ahead and do that. So first we'll maybe make a little.
Shared my screen, by the way.
Would you like mine so it's no delay?
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Can
problem.
use it. I will ask you something.
Oh. Okay.
If you look at my screen.
I am looking.
What is this?
Oh. Oh.
So, I changed the cell size value to fix it.
Yeah, where did you find the cell size stuff? Because I was just looking at my Navmesh and I couldn't find.
Okay, so once you add the Navmesh bounds volume, it
Yeah.
also adds a recast Navmesh default.
Ah, interesting. Okay, we missed that bit. Let me have a look at that in mine then. We have a. Okay, good. That's the first thing we learned. I think I'm going to keep notes during the session because things like that for me isn't super obvious. So, I mean, I might as well share the notes on the stream. Let me just don't lose much time to this. But docs. Quickly, we're making new doc as always. Behavior trees, tasks, and viewers. So first off, place a nav. Let's just do a Navmesh. And just the box extents. This will add a, what was the name? Recast Navmesh default. Into your scene. Also, which will will have parameters. Oops. You can just to control behavior, or the generation, let's say, the generation of the Navmesh. Playing games. Well, I mean, I can do that as well. Brainode tells me off when I play games. He says, Dan, you could be making games. And he's right. And inside, I want to be doing that. But inside, I'm tired and depleted. What games, Merlin? Let us know what you've been playing, dude. Okay, so that was the first thing that I wasn't quite aware of. Let's... Sweet. Okay, so getting your screen back up now. Sorry, dude.
Look at this now. Okay, this is I guess, an error in its Navmesh searching algorithm or something. So I changed the cell size to, for example, it's 19 right now. I'll change it to 19.1. And this is what we get, okay?
That's quite a big difference.
Yeah, but so notice the difference in these. What would you expect if I change it to 18.9?
That it would go closer together, like it would be more connected?
Mm-hmm.
It goes the opposite side.
Yeah, okay, this is unexpected. Then I go like 17 equals the opposite again. So it
could be based in like world space. Maybe it's something like that, right?
Probably in world space, and it's dividing into cells.
Yeah.
And somehow it's ignoring these ones because of probably the Y
crap
values.
Geometry.
Well, yeah. You need to play with those values too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's have a look at that then before we carry on with that controller. That'd be good. I've still got you up, so I can still see.
I guess this one is one of the most important ones.
Is that
Agent
the max
step height? It allows you to step up from these stuff.
Okay, so that is a generic for any agent that uses this Navmesh. It makes it.
Yeah, then agents have their own values to that override these.
That's part of the character, isn't it? If I remember the step height.
Yes.
Yeah, that, I remember some controls when we made our little. Remember our character in our first monthly game dev challenge. And we made him walk up the stairs. I do recall. Oh, Merlin, glad to hear. And lots of people seem to like old school RuneScape. I've never played either variety of the RuneScapes. But I'm glad you're enjoying it, dude. Okay, let me. I'm going to create a bit of a ramp as well. So is it called a wedge? No. Ramp? No.
I use the cube.
But there's a way where you can have these like stairs and stuff. Maybe that's in the starter content. I don't know. I've seen it. Yeah, I see your point. Okay, yeah, we will just use another cube, I guess. Try and create. Now I feel bad for making fun of yours.
It's alright.
Forgive me. Okay, so what, we're just going to rotate it to create a bit of a ramp, and then we'll scale this up in all directions. Bring this down and bring this close to the edge. There we go. I mean, I think we're a little off the floor, are we? Yeah, we're a tiny bit. We can probably just do a scaling it a tiny bit more, and then we should be good. So 1.8, would that do? Let's lock this so it actually. Okay. I pressed an escape so it didn't do it, and then deselected everything. Okay, that should do 2. I can be done with it and have it more underground. That's no problem. It's a bit of a step at the top, but it shouldn't be a big deal. We just need to change actually our maximum height change thing, which is this, I believe, isn't it? Set that to 5 and then we should be able to go up. Simples. This is unimportant, so I shouldn't be wasting time on this, but alas, here I am. I think also the fact that we've got a rotation here is not helping. But there we go. Okay, sweet. So I've created this. We now have some really weird. I don't know if it deals very well with this sort of. Like, does it know that this side of the face shouldn't have a Navmesh on it? It's. Maybe we should reduce. No, it's still not going to fix it. Used to be able to use a tool, like a brushing tool, but I think, did they get rid of it? Geometry. Oh no, they got some stairs here. In geometry. Yeah, let's just use that for now, shall we? Encountering different issues that might just come from that. Linear stairs. Let's just get these in, shall we? Like so. Does this let you have how many? Oh, look at this number of steps. I think we only need 6. Maybe 5 actually. Move this along. There's a bit of overlap there causing some ugly. Okay, yeah, the Navmesh still doesn't enjoy that. But we'll have a look. We'll see what we can do with that. So there's also a thing, isn't there, when you do like regenerate Navmesh or something? I thought there was a command you do to regenerate it, but I forgot what it was. Let me have a little Google. Might be an angle issue. Yeah, well, we're going to have a look in our... nice to see you, by the way, Apollyon. We're going to have a look in our thing in a sec now, but let me just start by... What was I doing? I was literally there, saw chat, and I completely forgot what I was thinking. Oh, yeah, okay. I want to Google the regenerate Navmesh as a command. It should automatically do it. I think maybe it's just in older versions then, perhaps. Rebuild navigation. I think they've changed it, so it's done using this object that you mentioned earlier now. Force rebuild on load? Yeah, I don't think you can do a rebuild anymore. So it must just do it automatically. You used to have to do it yourself, but I'm guessing it automatically does it now, which is nice. Where would you do the rebuild from otherwise? Would you need to click on it and rebuild? Sorry, that's half asking Apollyon in chat. But okay, let's now have a quick look. I'm happy to take answers, but for now I'm going to be having a look at this to see if we can make this look any nicer, because this is something Brainoid was having. So display. Oh, can you draw the edges as well? Yes. This is what I was on about when you can see how it's split up, which is why we're getting this shape around the square. That's nice. That's helpful, actually. Just to imagine like what's happening with this and why we get these funky shapes. So the bounds shows you like the max of where it can go to. That's cool. We won't go through each one of these. Tree. I think this is how it's split up into. Well, that just seems to be around the items that it can't go to. I mostly rely on the auto rebuild, but you can play around with some values to fix the issue. Yeah, we'll be doing that now. Thank you, dude. Happy to any advice before you get stuck on that shortly. Or you can do it. You can give advice now if you want. Oh, draw marked forbidden polys. They sound great, don't they? Forbidden. Draw offset. Is that like how far above the ground it draws it? Let's try and change this to 5. Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, it's beautiful.
Always
DJ.
glad to resub. Keep up the content.
Always great to see you. You wonderful person. Thank you for giving us the continued subscriptions, could say. It means a lot. 25 months, just over 2 years now. I'm coming up to 3 years on Twitch in 4 days, I think. My first game dev stream was the 6th of August 2017. That's interesting. Interesting, brain. Interesting. Okay. We probably don't want the bounds. We don't want the oak tree either. Actually, no, I think is that on, but not that. Oh, let's just get rid of those. There we go. Okay. So this is what we got here. We've gone through the display settings. Now we have the generation. So it's a fixed pool size. Allocate the fixed pool size for tiles. Should be enabled to support streaming. Tile size. It'd be nice if we could see these tiles. Agent radius. So is this okay? So I got a feeling if we change the agent radius, we're going to get closer to this edge here. Let's just at least test that out, shall we? So if we go this to like 5. Okay, good. That's good. And another thing I want to test is if I change the agent height. You remember when we did this earlier? It takes a while for it treats that as floor. There. Okay, good. So that's because the height, I believe. So if we go into this and we change the agent height to like 10, that should definitely draw now, I believe. Further down. Yeah. Okay, so that you're telling it like how high your characters and that are going to be typically. There you go. So that's 10 units, so it starts doing it now. Great. Okay, that's good because that's how we predicted it works. And it's always nice to be able to kind of get some verification back. That's roughly how it works. So let's just do 25 by 100 for a character for now. That's okay. This is an absolute state, isn't it? But we'll have a look at what we've got. Tile size UU. Size of a single tile expressed in Unreal units. I guess that's what UU is, what it means. The generation is the important. Yes, seems that way at the moment. It looks. Oh, do you actually look quite a lot? I did not know that, DJ Bay. So I'm glad that you. Especially like game test streams, even back when I was streaming more regularly and had more viewers, like the number of people watching versus number of people talking is a massive disparity. And people, I had that one guy come in before saying I'm botting or something. Just like, no, I'm not doing anything. It's just there's a lot of people who use Twitch differently. And there's a lot of people who just leave Twitch open without actually watching it as well. Okay. So the tile size, so 1,000. What if we change that to 500? How will that change things? Okay, so are these the tiles then? Each one of these? I mean, I don't think it is, because if we draw down 500, I've done, right? Oh, middle click I was meant to be doing. Is that 500? Ah, it is. So it's how it splits up in that way. It's going to be quite good actually to maybe look at it from this perspective as we change these. So let's go back onto this. For now, let's lock this in because we're not going to actually want to click off of it for some time. Ah, that's fair. That's fair, DJ. You lurk as well, Apollyon. What sort of benefit do you get from lurking? I'm not questioning it, just interested. That should make it smaller. Each square. Oh, I meant to do 250, but I guess 400 is the minimum. Interesting. Okay, if we make this larger then. So it wasn't 1,000, right? So if we make this 2,000. So each one is now. Actually, no, 2,000 is the whole thing. So is that just like one giant tile? I'm not even sure. Has it gotten better on the stairs through doing that? No. Okay. Still looks horrid. So I'm not 100% how this impacts things at the moment, the tile size. Add my view to the streamer and sometimes find interesting stuff to look at if not interact. Yeah, fair enough. Well, there's a bit of passive learning that can happen sometimes and a bit of passive motivation too. Okay, cell size. So tile size versus cell size. Hey, how you doing, Ayukez? Nice to see you. Let's try making this smaller. And let's try making it bigger. So when I made it larger, it doesn't fit on here. So I'm guessing that's like it's split into. I'd love to be able to see these cells right now. I don't think there is anything that'll let us see that. Clusters? No. Alright, never mind. We'll just deal with it. So this was 19 to begin with. So it seems confusing to me. The cell size, I guess it depends if it splits it up as a grid, and like what would happen if we move both of these? How does that affect the... Oh, crikey, I meant to move both of them at once. Yeah, because I think really the position of it in the world is impactful because of the way that the world is split up into this Navmesh thing. So when we're changing these values, we've got to keep that in mind. Like we can see here is definitely an area of a new section. You can see by the way that it kind of snaps to that, where that red and green intersect there. That's something to consider. So if we just leave it on the edge there, we'll move these stairs across. That there. Okay, so if we were to make this cell larger, it gives us less. And then if we make it smaller, it seems to give us more. So that kind of makes sense. think. Oh, the cell height might be something to contribute here as well.
Yes.
So I'd imagine each individual cell is how like we can build up these shapes. So that's why the lower the number, the more kind of close to the edges we'll get. Whereas if we take it higher, we'll get more basic things because we have less. If you imagine it as like a dot to dot diagram, we have less dots to choose from to draw our closest match shape. So, okay, we'll stick with, it was 19 to begin with. Let's just chuck it on 15, shall we? Now, cell height, let's see how the cell height influences this. So we really want one for each one of these steps, don't we? And like, how high are these steps? Let's look from the left, shall we? Where are the steps? Maybe we should look from the front. Am I on the steps? Select those. There they are. Sorry, I couldn't see them before. So these things are what, 20 units high? We got 5 of them, so it's 100 total. But if you keep in mind our whole Navmesh area, that is probably what's split up into cells as well. So okay, let's just try to take it to a smaller number and a larger number. So first, if we go 20. Yeah, so you can imagine these are like cells of 20 by 20 going up. So can you see how it's actually higher than where this is now? That makes sense. Sorry, little things like that trigger me. I think it's still not right, but I don't care anymore. Shh, don't look at it. Yeah, so that gives us less of a, if we're thinking of having points in the air that we can, again, the dot to dot nature, these are larger. So if we make them smaller, I'm hoping it allows us to go up more gradually. It's hard to see at the moment because of the, it's kind of hidden by the mesh, but I believe that's what's happening. We did this really small. Should allow us to, yeah, no, the thing is, we're not still, it's not like we're following that. It'll take a while to build this because we're giving it so many cells. Oh, crikey, I thought that would have worked differently. Still doesn't work on those stairs, eh? Alright, well, the cell height thing I'm not truly getting. I think if we were to choose maybe the Navmesh bounds and move this, does that change it? Okay, I would have thought that would have changed it maybe, but it doesn't. Interesting. Okay, so I thought maybe the cell sizes would have been within this grid, but it doesn't seem to work that way. Hello there, Deke. How you doing? Nice to see you. And Apollyon, thank you. Step height and slope. We'll have a look at those now. Sorry if I'm a little slow. I just want to try and see if I can make sense of these things. We're not going to go through these again over the next month, really. So it's age and height, radius. We're going to look at those. Max slope and step height. This. Oh, so they're 20 each one are steps. We know that much. Let's see what it says. Largest vertical step the agent can perform. Okay, so if we did it massive, could they? If we did it 100, yeah, they can then walk up here basically because they can step that way. That is messy. And then this is an angle, I'm guessing, right? So is it because it's a 45-degree angle, these stairs? I don't know if they are. But we can have a look at changing that. Having it less should be a problem. It should mean that it definitely can't go up any higher, right? If we have it much higher, we're still getting nothing. Still can't go up these. Is it because of the agent? Ah, hold on. Is it because of these? The agent can't step onto them. Hopeful, but incorrect. So that means they're not gonna. Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I can actually get. I'm gonna get any progress with this. Yeah. The only thing I can think of doing is making the cell heights like less now that we've set some angles, but still doesn't seem to do anything either. Oh? No, that's just making everything go that way. The view's misleading, so they can walk up there, yeah, but are they not going to just walk through this floor? I guess we'll find that out, right? And that's one of the things we're looking to do today. So, okay, we've had a look through these settings. There are a bit... Oh, crikey, there's more down there. Yeah, they look more like advanced settings. Let's ignore those for now. Vertical deviation from ground compensation. Rebuild. So that'll change the Navmesh at runtime. I imagine that's quite expensive. Okay, fine. Yeah, and so is there a nice way to add a ramp? So I swear there used to be like a wedge thing you could do, but I can't find it anymore. I tried just adding a box and rotating it, but anyway, okay. So, heyo Flippo, nice to see you. We'll carry on trying to make our simple character for now. We're gonna just make a quick AI controller for it as well, weren't we? So let's make a new folder for this and just say like characters for now. Okay. And then let's make a new AI controller. Select that, and we're just going to call it our. Just call it a simple AI controller thus far. Should save that. Save this too. And we can set this to be our simple AI controller there. Okay. How you doing today, Flippo? So we generally are going to want to give the blueprint of this character. We want to add one of these into the world. Wonderful. Crikey, he's a bit big, isn't he? Okay. Be a giant. No one's judging. Okay. So we have our giant T-poser, and our T-poser is going to follow whatever we put in the world. So we need to add our follow actor. So we'll make it very quick. Call it. Should we call it a sheep? No, sheep follow. It's from actor. Does it need to be anything other than actor? No, I don't. Let's just call it follow target then for now. Need to just give this a static image so we can see it. And let's just give it something. We've got a sphere we can use. Be fine for me. Lovely. That in there. Are those in? Yeah, that's fine by me. We can actually see as we move it around. So it shouldn't generate Navmesh. Is there a way to say doesn't generate nav? Is it because it's static? Can't remember what we're looking in the search bar. Second movement. Okay, can it affect Navmesh? No, shouldn't do. Okay, that's good. Something in there. Okay, so here's our target. And we'll drag that around and we want this to follow it. So realistically, we are going to need to go into the blueprint of this. How are you looking at doing this, Brain?
Well,
Is it just getting the controller and using the move to and giving it a location, or?
No, because we need to use the Navmesh, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So what I did was to use in the AI controller, my custom print of it, AI move to.
And that will use the. Right, so did you make your own function, or is it just in the controller? It will constantly do it, is it?
Yes. So I actually did this. An event tick. I'm checking was input key. Just press. I use one. If that's press, I get the position of the player and make the NPC move towards the player.
Yeah.
So this is the default player controller. By the way, I press one, it comes to
And
me.
it goes towards you.
I'm not.
Okay, so every time you press it, it does it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's. I have better control.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Okay, we'll just get something going for now. So the controller should be this in here. We need to give it a goal actor. I guess we could. No, because we're not in the level blueprint. I don't know how we're gonna find. I guess we could find all actors of type or something like that to get hold of this. I don't think you can like add a reference into scene objects like that. Does it get? No, I have no idea what that is. For flip's sake, I don't use blueprint stuff enough. I haven't got a clue. I think if I want to try and get the position of the thing is chasing, I guess I could give it a reference. Our controller could have a target field, which will just be an actor. Maybe. Let's call this follow target. Expose that out. And we can get this. Give that the location to go to. No, it's not debug, it's right print. That's the one. Would that work, I wonder? Save that. I will read chat in a moment. Apologies for the delay. Go to this and we go to the controller. Oh no, we can't give it a reference. We'd have to do it on the bloody this. We're not going to be able to do it that way. We're going to have to get it off of the owner and cast it. This, we're going to have to make an actor reference in here instead, I believe. This will be our follow target. We can set that at runtime then, I guess. I'll expose it out like last time. That's all we need to do in here. And this we can, I guess in begin play we could get it. So we want to get controlled pawn, I think it's called. no get on. No, it's going to come off of this. That's why I guess. There we go. I always do that. I drag off and the context is not relevant there. So we want to get that, and then we want to cast to BP simple chase character. Yes. Do, because it is going to be attached to one of those. If that was successful, then we want to go ahead and we'll store a reference to its chase target, did I call it? Follow target. There. And we want to write to a variable. And that variable is going to be called our cached follow target. And now. You would do the collision mesh in Blender for your steer mesh. Right, okay. Sadly, there are not many prototyping packages, but one thing there is a blockout pack with ramps. Is that like a pack you mean you download and it has a bunch of these shapes you can chuck together? But I thought you've moved back to your parents today. Yeah, I remember you did say you were moving. Not too bad. I'll have not to stay here too long. Yeah, even if it's not a bad experience, isn't it? Sometimes it can be can feel like somewhat of a step backwards, but there's no shame in it at all. Transition periods, isn't it? And also, one day you won't have time to spend with your family anymore, whether it be distance or death or whatever, as morbid as that is. So it's nice to have time with people. Okay, so have I done this in the wrong? No, I haven't. Okay, we're getting that. Excellent. So that means that we can now get that, and we can go to this. We really should check it's not null, I guess. So if this is valid, we want to go ahead and pass that in. Controller's fine, and we want to move. I guess that's what we'll try and do to now. Let's see if it moves after this ball. Just whack it there. Save everything. Save. Just play. Nothing. How did I know that was going to happen? Oh, do we have to do? No, we don't have to start, do we?
What are you doing?
Oh, I haven't set the bloody thing. I just made a little thing where this has a follow target that we give it, and then it should move towards it. Flipping swine doesn't want to move towards it. Okay, begin play. It goes in. Can it cast it? Yes, it can. This target is now an actor reference. Is it going into here? Okay, it is. Is it valid? It tries moving to this goal actor location. Oh, maybe we need to give it more, like how close it needs to get or something. Yeah, can you, Brian, when you did your movement, your move to location or actor?
I didn't use move to location or actor.
Oh, what did you use?
AI move to. Takes care of the damage.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
But that's also weird. It receives a world context object and a pawn. That's not the key for you.
Oh yeah, mine doesn't, does it? What version are you? Or are you in? You're in a controller. I'm in a controller too. Yeah, I'm not too sure why yours is different. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so the cached follow target is the actor we're going into. So the E movement result, if I remember, is an enum which says like, is it still following or not? We dealt with this in code when I was trying to do some movement stuff on AHA, I remember. Can you string that? No, it's just going to give a byte, I guess, of... Don't know what this... Okay, let's try that, see if we get actually anything happening. Let's get this player start point. I keep spawning and looking over here. We want to just watch these, don't we, I guess? I don't want to spawn. Oh, we have ourselves breakpoints we do not hit. So much success! No movement thus far. Yeah, this is I remember this stuff getting frustrating with the debugging because like it's going to hit this point, but then I don't know. Oh, hang on, the pawn? Is it? We don't have this. Yeah, we need to tell it what to move. So this would be the get owner, I guess, right? Control pawn, probably.
Yes, I assigned control pawn to that.
Yeah. All right, take 3. Action. Yeah. Oh, it's such a demoralizing thing. It makes me so sad. Just the most basic of things are never easy. And you do the collision. Oh, yeah, sorry, I read that already. My bad. Why are you not moving? That's what I'm interested in. So we go here, we hit F9, it's hitting there, right? And then it's printing out. Is it a success or is it fail? Is it because he's trying to start moving on tick constantly? No, it should still move.
I'm actually using the destination.
Using a destination rather. Well, I guess we can try that, right?
Yeah.
I'm in that.
Because like, I don't know what target actor is here.
Yeah. Try that, shall we? Magic. I mean, is that... You don't have to set anything up that I haven't thought about on the... I've changed the chase character to use the controller. So the simple one there. It's got character movement. I haven't changed anything in there, so it should be fine to move.
Weird.
I remember having issues with this.
Is it sphere hovering, floating? No, right?
This.
No. I mean, is it close to the ground?
That is one thing I changed actually. I remember back here.
Where's the pivot of the? Because.
Is it that use the center of them?
Yeah.
can't exist there. Which is
I meant bring down the sphere.
oh, what this?
Oh no, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know really.
No, me. This stuff bothers me. Okay, let's just do some searching, I guess.
What do you have different from me?
Open yours a bit. Really. Go back to the start of yours. And zoom in a tiny bit. Thank you. Okay, so you okay, stop moving and zoom in a little. Thank you. Stop. Thank you. Just using character location from the get control pawn. Get player controller. Yeah, I'm not getting it from player controller. I'm just getting it from a reference to an actor in the world, I guess.
Doesn't matter like this.
It shouldn't matter. We don't have a world context on mine. Can you zoom in on the AI move too? Yeah, there's nothing in there.
I probably dragged it off from some node. That's why I added this. So
Okay, yeah.
if I do this, yeah.
You see the off path, or thank you, Deke. Yeah, the result 3. I should have looked at enum value actually. So I was making it print out the off path. That means that it could be based on. That's one issue we had before was the. Can I see your thing that's moving? The setup of the object that's moving.
Setup of the object that's moving.
The thing that's following your character around, like that. Yeah. That. So if we look at it, yeah, your pivot point's in the middle as well, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, it's in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because I don't have collision?
I didn't touch it.
Yeah, all I've done, but it depends on the static mesh we've used, whether that has collision and stuff. What did you use? Just a cylinder thing, was it? What is it? Go into here. It's because it's looking for a skeletal mesh for me. Did you just get rid of the...
It just stays there, but I'm not using it. I added another
new mesh.
Mesh, yeah.
Because it's inherited, right? Okay. Let's just get rid of this for now then. I hate the auto selecting this thing.
Not simulation.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I typed in static.
Sorry, I was watching the stream instead.
Okay. Called cylinder. Let's just go for that. Okay, I have a cylinder.
Fancy.
I just have some material I could use as well. I always struggle just to find just a color material.
What I did was to.
Would you just make one?
I placed the cylinder.
And take its material.
No, I right-clicked on it and selected convert cube, not cylinder, to static mesh, and used that static mesh.
All right. Okay. It's like, let's look at AI, and then it's just struggling with the flipping how to do anything. And my favorite arrow component as well. Thank you. Okay, so that's kind of like all we've got. Have you got anything else on yours?
Well, nothing special.
Camera and stuff like that. No, it's not. Yeah. Don't need to get rid of those. It's fine too.
We don't need those.
Okay, now it's in the floor. Just want to lift you. Oh no, it was in the floor before as well. There was one setting I changed on my Navmesh to be really low at one point, so I just want to change that back. In case that had anything to do with it. Was it on this? Was it on the actual Navmesh? I can't remember. I think it wasn't. Yeah, I can't even remember where the setting was. Oh, draw offset is just to be drawn anyway. It doesn't actually change anything. Alright, well. That thing. Okay, so why is it returning off path? Let's go to the move to code, shall we? Double click on it. That open it in. Can we go to code of this? No. I don't even have a class to open this project up. Ugh. No. Can't even remember where. There we go. There's not like a solution file in here. Oh, did I not do a CPP project? Did I just do a blueprint project? Oh, I think I flipping did. Oh, for flip's sake. Losing my patience already with this. I'm going to the code. I can look in another project. I guess it doesn't matter if it's engine code. These are specific. Ours isn't moving at all at the moment. Just while the engine's loaded up. Yeah, well, what would you use, or would you just be using a behavior tree, Apollyon? Why is everything unavailable? Oh my gosh, what has gone on? Flip's sake. Why is the solution unloaded? Sorry if that's why.
Okay, finally, I got it working. I was struggling with something as well. Let's see. What's wrong with yours?
It just doesn't move. So, and I can't go into the. I'm trying to look at the code to see why I'd be returning an AI code. Code 3, but I can't open the fucking code because.
Right?
Sorry, dude.
Off path. It was saying off path.
Yes. I feel like I need to start my project again because I've did it with blueprint only, which has irritated me as well.
It's weird that you cannot change it mid-project.
Or maybe you can, and I just don't know how to do it. And I feel stupid where I'm trying to open. I tried to open a different solution in Visual Studio, and it just says project unloaded, and I don't know how to deal with that. I'm so like limited in experience with this stuff. If I open it, it works. I do code. I don't really deal with like troubleshooting crap like that.
Could it be because you're using tick?
Normally AI move, you just tell it to do it once, but
because it calculates again.
But it still should be moving. I thought that myself, but then I thought it shouldn't just say I don't know where I'm at. Usually use the behavior tree. That's fair enough. Apollyon did. We just want to try and look at how the Navmesh works, and now it's just like an hour later, and I've gone nowhere. I mean, it was nice to go through the settings at least, and a little bit that we've learned. We'll look through this forum, through this production, I guess. Oh, there's a project template. Okay. They probably have the collision set for the stairs. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. And a waypoint and move. Yeah, they're target a few target points. New class based on the AI controller class. To get random waypoints, let's create a function which does exactly that. Gets a random one. Finally, we're going to go to the random waypoint on begin play. Go to a random waypoint, which is a. Has he made that function as well? 4 options of which node to use depending on whether we want to move actor or a location, or whether we want to use a simple version of the function or one with all of them. Simple move to. None of them are using the AI one here. Simple move to actor.
That move to location as use pet finding checkbox in it.
Yeah, that's what it seems. The move to can work that way. think. Just seeing what else is done in here before I go. It's not too different to what we were trying to do. Oh, great. Project couldn't be compiled. I've literally just created the project. Thanks, Unreal. Having a blast with you today. Ran out of memory. I keep getting that flipping error with Unreal. I really don't get it. This is exactly why we want to look at this stuff, because stuff like this is so demoralizing, I feel personally. But it's just like there's some basic rules to it that I just don't understand clearly, which is why it's like when it's not working, I'm like, oh, why isn't it working? Because, and that's one of the things I found bad about Unreal to begin with, is because using the framework, like I'm using that node AI move to. If it doesn't work, I have no idea how to debug. So it's. This guy, his helping message. Someone gave him, oh, it's not working. Add a Navmesh. Oh, I didn't add one. I did not know that. Yes, now it moved. Thank you. Kiss your eyes. What? Where did the kiss your eyes come from?
It was there all along. So this.
Yeah, we'll give that a go now. Apollyon gets oh, I don't have any like lighting or anything in this level. Did I not? Oh, you can choose them this way. Sweet. So we've got this. Again, make this larger than last time. I'm gonna go ahead and add in a Navmesh band volume down here. Like that there. Make it larger. I think it would be 2000 by 2000. Just check that as 500 to give it a bit more room. Is fine. Put that bang in the middle. Okay. Cute. On the floor, let's get this material highlighted. I can chuck that material to that. Let's scale this up. Yeah, I think I did check the controller, Napoleon, but thank you for trying to help. I'll double check things when I set things back up now. We're just making a bit of a world for us. As it is.
You are copying my world.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I'm sorry. Will you forgive?
So I tried to have a ramp and some stairs to get the AI to step on.
Any luck?
Yes, managed. And I think I'm ready to move on to behavior trees.
Fantastic. I'll let you know when I finally get to a point where I can do something useful.
Don't let me know. I will be helping you, watching you.
Holding me.
I will be the eye in the sky.
Fantastic.
Looking at you.
Okay, so our Navmesh, if we press P, now see, there we go, fantastic. Got this shape. Character's gonna go, no, I didn't mean to move the floor, just want to move that stupid starting thing there back to here. Okay, great. Save our level, fantastic. Right, so now we want to go back here. We're gonna make ourselves an AI character, I guess, right? So we're just gonna, is it just a character or is it a special AI character, by the way? It's just a character, isn't it? And then we give it an AI controller. That's what I did last time, just thought I'd double check. So we're just gonna call this a blueprint of a AI character, simple. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Apollyon, as well. We're then gonna make ourselves a new AI controller. So we're just going to call this a BP AI controller. Simple as well. This AI controller we will open. We don't need to do anything with it at the moment. We'll go into the graph of it in a moment. And this, we'll save this too. We need to set the controller of our pawn. Be our new one, which is our BP AI. That one. Save. Okay, and then in our character, we're just going to add a few things for it to look like. So we're just going to add static mesh to it. And the static mesh is just going to be called we choose just a cylinder from here.
Just the two of us.
You and I. Okay, I don't actually care how fat it is, so it can stay like that. There you go. So we have our character, or not a character, our AI simple thingy. So let's drop one of those into the level. Oops. Put those into the level. There we go. Oh, you know me. I like to have an arrow on my character. Realistic way to exist. Fantastic. There we go. We're not clicking on it, we can still see which way that it's facing. Right, so what we want now is to move to a location. So we're just going to get a new actor, target, point. Aren't these like lightweight actors? Just with a little widget thing on it. I think it is. Okay, let's do that. You can add like a tag to it or something to help find it, but we just want to move to that location. Let's also sure these are on the floor. Okay, so we're now going to go into our simple character. We're going to store a reference to what it's looking for. What I planned to do. So in here we make I was going to do a variable which will store a reference to our target. Yeah. This is not a boolean, this is an actor. An object reference. The character needs to be on Navmesh, so set can affect Navmesh to fall. Oh yeah, I did that on the target, but not the character last time. Do you mean the static mesh in here, maybe? Should be false. Okay. So I was trying to, on this character that we've got, to give this a... Did I not save this, maybe? Exposed ether. Save, compile, bring this out. We now have this. This target point is where we're trying to get to. Okay. Simples. So, in our controller... I mean, we can probably code it from the character or the controller, I guess, right? We could make it function on a controller we call, but... I guess, let's just do it in our controller for now. Let's just do it on a key press to keep it simple. Is there not like an on input? Oh, don't you have to just press the actual button? So when I press G, oh, I chose a bad one because everything starts with G. U, 1. Okay, keyboard events comes under simples. Okay, so when I press K, K is my special key. When it's pressed, we're gonna get the owned. No, it doesn't come off there. Get control pawn. This valid. Just we need to cast this actually to a simple character. If this was valid, just if it's not, we just need to say invalid character. Okay, and then if we, otherwise we want to get this and we want to get our target reference. So get target actor. Lovely, and then we want to move to that location. So before we used AI move to, that's what Brain has used and that's worked. We'll try all different types now, but we'll just chuck this in. The target actor, I think you did destination as well, didn't you? Like the location. So we went get actor location. And that into transform. And then the pawn is going to be us ourselves. It says pawn though. Ah, was I using the controller instead? Character. No, it would just be this. Going in there. Okay. That is our plan as of now. When we press K for that to happen, we would need to therefore set up our blueprint instance, sorry, here. Have a target point we have. Let's just make sure the AI control has been set as well. That was the wrong search bar. Yeah, AI class at the bottom is the controller one. Saving it. We're going to press play. And we see nothing's moving. It's in the air, which doesn't help. But that's because of the collision of it. But
where's the target?
it's an invisible thing over here. I just use a target point. But it could be I can make it some.
Add an arrow in it.
Thank you. So
You can see it in the scene view.
are you still? I think the target things might be a specific thing that don't get rendered. Let's get rid of the target, shall we? And we'll just make an empty actor instead.
Okay.
Empty actor, drag that in. Let's just leave it where it was. Arrow component onto that. Save. And then we need to give this a reference to it. so that do it? Yeah, actor. It's called. Good name. Okay. Okay. Still doesn't move. Okay, so we got the same sort of thing as last time. So I guess we can try some different move to things. So this article that we were looking at before. Gone. This. Had a few different options of how to move it. Simple move to location, simple move to actor. Let's just try simple move to location then, shall we? Controller is going to be this, and the goal is going to be...
You changed the AI controller, right? I guess you did.
Yeah. Let's try that one. We get any different results? Nope. Oh, for flip's sake, I haven't even been pressing K. That's the first mistake. I forgot last time I set it to just happen by default. Let's go back to how we were. This isn't executing at the moment. This is all set up. Target actor. Yeah, this is fine. Save. Let's press play. K. Oh, okay. Still nothing happens. And just to be doubly sure of it, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of a... Sure, we're pressing it and it's picking it up and all that jazz. Watch, we press K. Oh. It's not actually doing that. It's interesting.
It's not going in K?
No. Did you put...
It was the case for me too, so I used this instead.
Is it? Oh, it probably doesn't have an input component on it. Like whereas the character would.
Yes. I guess that's sensitive. So yeah, I use it in Eventic.
Right. Okay. I see where you're coming from. Hello there, Fido. Okay, let's try and do a branch on that, I guess, right? So if it was just just pressed, then we go ahead and do this. Save. It doesn't like this. Not a player controller, therefore target must have a connection. This is a controller. It's an AI controller.
Actually, I was getting the player controller and attaching to the target.
So hang on, what? You're getting the player controller?
Get the player controller and attach it into the target.
Oh, for input, right? Yeah, because it's us as a player who's actually giving the input. Yeah, completely correct there.
You cannot do that in a key press event, so.
Yeah. Let's try it. We should at least see K at the top now. There you go. Oh, and it actually moved. Huzzah! I don't know why we did different this time, but it's gone. If we go F8.
It could really be the eventic thing, because I read something like that earlier.
And then we go back in for pressing F8. And then we press K. Here we go, off it goes. Wonderful. Like, I feel mildly happy enough that I'm going to take the toilet break that I've wanted for the last 30 minutes while upset about this. And let the tears out of other places rather than the eyes. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, my Discord isn't a place where I get rid of notifications, unfortunately. You'll see. Show you. Don't get sad, okay? Like these
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't get notifications for them. It just does a little number. If I really want to, I can just get rid of them. But you start doing that, then that's something extra to do, and I don't care for doing. Sorry, Fido. While I just take a very short break, I'll chuck Brainode's screen up. See the wonderful stuff that he's working on. I'll be right back shortly.
What's wrong here? It keeps going here.
Okay, we are back. Hello. Yeah, when I first started Discord Flip, I used to keep up to date with them all, but that was when I started, and there was a lot less Discords I was a member of. It's just like it makes you question what's the point. As much as they're lovely people, and I'm sure other people see my Discord in the same way. But it's just like if you don't read it, what's the point of being a member as well? It's kind of like you want to show support for people, but then if I just got rid of like 90% of my I'm not in that many of them. I've got around 30 Discords, I'd imagine. But yeah, if I just got rid of them all, other than like 6, I could probably keep up to date with those, and I'd be a better member of a community of other Discords. It's an interesting one, isn't it? The movement is happening over time, so it needs to be an event tick, I think. Well, this isn't continually called at this, because this is only when it's just been pressed, right? I mean, because I don't think it would work. Yeah, let's see if it doesn't work then. Let's try and learn from our frustrations, and let's have a look to see if we get rid of the event tick. I also want to add something visual to this because it's nasty at the moment. Hard to see. Sorry, I'm terrible at this. Add ourselves a sphere. There we go. First off, let's just see if this still works. So press K. Okay, it no longer works. That's interesting. What? Is it because it might be because there's no Navmesh around it? So if we go here, and then yeah, I try not to use everyone or here tags, and I actually get is the odd person who tries using it on my Discord. I think I may have restricted it now, but generally there's a good rule that we just don't do it because it's dickish, and you want to use it only when you actually want everyone to see a message. If you use it all the time, like, hey, I'm live, and it's just like when you actually want to say, oh, hey, I really need people's help with this, what do you think? And then like they're not going to know the difference. That's the downside of it. The stream roles are a good idea. You can make Discord roles and people can get kind of alerts via those. Right, let's get the static mesh not affecting Navmesh. Let's see if that takes us back to a state where it's working. That would be nice if it did. Please work. Okay, great. Can you see what it's doing though? Is it going up in the air? I think we had this issue. Oh, actually no, I don't think it is. I think it's just because yeah, it's just stuck in the air anyway. That's no problem. Okay, it's because the collider for this is it's a fatter collision thing. That's not a problem. Okay, good. We got that working. What we want to do as a learning thing then was to see if we actually don't get this and just go straight into hey, do that, which is a terrible way to code, but we're going to do it anyway. And compile that and see if it constantly follows it around. What we want to see. So if I press play, yeah, it does work. It goes straight to it on tick. Let's try and move it around dynamically. Yeah, and it follows it.
Weird.
Oh, has he got a bit stuck? Oh, it's because the player's in the way. So I don't know what I did different on the first time. But at least now we've got something simple, which is really what we want to do, right? So now we can actually see how Navmesh works. If we wanted to try and work on different areas of what we can do with it. So like I can move this up here and this can't get up there, but if we add we can add a Navmesh kind of link, I think it's called. I'm not allowed to do that. So let's try and do one of those things. So Navmesh link proxy. So here you can make it so this point over here, we can go that and up this way. So it's hard, I find it hard to see how high up we are. Guessing you just want it in that. And then this top one is, let's leave it where it was, I think. Doesn't matter. Right, so there's a point there, and if you click on this, this means you can change which direction it goes in. Thanks for the follow, by the way. Just call me Miss. Hello. Oh, M's. Where are we at? The link direction is both ways, so this means that you can go up and down. Shall we put another one over here as well? Why not? Let's quickly do that. We've duplicated it. Let's rotate it around 180. And we can just... The idea was that we could just place it roughly in the same spot. Okay, sweet. So we've now got these points. That should mean if we're going to go up in this sort of viewpoint here. Save this, it's going to be going towards it always. But we're going to F8 to jump out of our pawn. We're going to grab our actor and start moving it around. If we then go over here, tell you what, like he's moving a bit fast for my liking. Where's the character? Like
You're like.
Say that again.
You're liking.
Liking. Oh, for my liking. Sorry, I don't realise the words I say. Walk speed. Let's make here a lot slower, shall we? That should help us. Uh-oh. I think I moved it down. That was the problem. Crept from beneath the sea. Oh, now it's stuck on top of me. There you go. Okay. That was treacherous. Okay, so what we'd like to see is if we move out of here completely, move it. Oh my words. Just want to move it up. No. So awkward to move these things. Let's move it up onto this one. It's trying to get up, but it can't. You can see it's trying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why that is.
Oh, you have proxy here?
Say that again?
You have proxies there? Link.
Yeah. So here's this one.
Okay, so proxies alone are not enough as far as I know.
Do I need to change the maximum jump step and stuff as well?
Oh no, if you want it to jump, you need a smart proxy, I guess, to tell it to jump. Use the jump action because it doesn't know what to do there. But
is that what happened in the thing we saw before?
the vice versa would work, jumping down.
Ah, right. So walking down would work, but not the other way around. So if we drop it up here to begin with, and we'll chuck you.
Yeah,
Just like that, I guess.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stuck.
It could be the general proxy. This is generally how they're meant to work, to my understanding, but we'll just make it a much larger area, I guess.
It looks like it's set up correctly.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it didn't like that one, did it? Really didn't like this point.
Can you get the point in the upper place lower? Yeah.
Oh, it's not yeah, it wasn't intersecting with the bottom, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it's acting like it knows that there's a way from down there.
Yeah, it just can't.
Can you place the character elsewhere so we should see if it's gonna move there to go down.
Like this, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's just like not enough room for it, is it?
Maybe.
Is there something here about?
Maybe not navling proxy, but something to do with the Navmesh.
So in the actual Navmesh itself, on the recast, yeah.
What if we change the cell size?
Well, these to be smaller, is it? Or I don't know, max step height. I've got an idea as well. What if we just move all of these down? Just to make it closer, just to see. It might be something to do with the height. That's going the other way, isn't it? This is not good. Oh, obviously, because the jump points are now in the air. Doofus. Still just very unhappy. Doesn't want to hang out with us. We can try the... This is what these sessions are about, by the way, is to give ourselves time to, for no better word, dick around and see if we can figure out how some of this stuff works. So we change the max step height to a bigger thing. Change it to 100. Oh no, yeah, that's not going to work. That means that they can actually... Yeah, we don't want to do that. It could be to do with the agent size as well, possibly. We can make it a little bit thinner. Like Bruno said, we can make the cell size a bit smaller as well. And we will, just in case the size of this thing is an issue, we'll make it look less stupid as well. Yeah.
It worked on my side, by the way.
Well, everything's working for you. It's Fine, sick of this. Let's scale this in 0.5, 1.5, 0.5, 1.5. Beautiful. There you go. Drop you. Action! Oh, doesn't even move anymore, does it? How have I broken it? It's important to know like what. Oh, hang on. No, it should be doing it on tick. Okay, so somehow I imagine. Hang on, we can go back to the Navmesh. We can undo some of the stuff that we did in here. Oh, there's no just a reset in here, is there? Damn it. That was 19. I know that much. This was 35 and 144 maybe. 192 maybe. I think that's all we really changed. So I'm gonna guess it's to do with the actual size of the character. So dumb. No. Honestly. Like, what has changed?
Is it saying the path is blocked again? If we put a breakpoint and AI move to, maybe we can.
Yeah, trying to find that code before was. Oh, it's so annoying. Like, it was literally working a few moments ago, and somehow through changing around 4 things. Well, before, I think I was just leaving it in the air and it would just fall and it would then work anyway. Step size, I think I changed as well. Where are you? Step size, I put you. Oh no, step size was in the
character.
I changed it back to what it was.
Character has a step size as well, but you didn't play with those values.
No. See you later, Fido. Just like, I'm genuinely curious. How did I just break it in like no time at all? Let's go and have a look, shall we? And see what I actually did. The videos. So awkward to find anything these days. How do I get to?
Icon, yeah.
Really obvious. Stupid. So walking down would work, but not the other way. Right.
First of all, you changed the position of the character, but it was working that way.
Yeah, I want to go to the last bit where it wasn't working. How much is this? This is like 3 minutes worth, so. Yeah, it was still working at this point. So what happened next? Here we go. Carefully watch. Okay, remove that. That really shouldn't matter. Hang on. I moved it down and it still wasn't working, right? That's fine. So that's Okay, 2. Then, so I went into this.
And
I tried the step and then that made the left corner go really up. I was like, ah, no, that's crap. So then I changed it back to 35. Anything else I do? Got all this mouse movement that does nothing. Come on, Dan. 35, 144. I think I changed those to try and make it smaller at one point. Let's just pause that. You 35, 144. Yeah, I managed to remember to change those back. What else did I change? Cell 19. Changed it to 15. Did I change that back? Yes, I did. And then I went into here, changed the scale of the I literally just changed the scale of it, I'm pretty sure. I saved it.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work after that. Yeah, great. Yeah. To me, there's nothing obvious why, like what I did. I've undone all of that work.
yeah, you already reverted all those stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty
But
dumb.
still,
Let's get
let's
rid of it.
go.
Add it back
What?
in.
Ah, yeah, that could solve it.
It was worth
No.
it. Oh, hang on, it doesn't have a target now, so. Oh, hold on, what is this? Oh no, that's fine. That's because we haven't given it a new target. No. It really is frustrating.
It is.
I added it. Did it add a static mesh to that? Did that make a difference? It's desperate times here, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. It just seems dumb, to be honest. Let's just get another navlet mesh in, shall we?
I'm curious if Navmesh is rebuilt when you press build. Maybe that could solve it. Yes, it has build path. Maybe that's it. Okay, so
Why?
Navmesh in Unreal sucks. That's what we.
I don't know what happened. Like, why is it? One of those things we've learned through just trial and error with Unreal that just sometimes just re-adding stuff in makes things better, right?
Yes.
Like, it really shouldn't be that way, and I'm sure it's something I'm doing wrong, but so stupid. So, do we think it was when I moved the nav mesh around, it didn't rebuild? And we had to manually rebuild it. I feel like I want it to break again now.
Oh, this kid.
Well, at least I don't know. Let's take some positive. At least it did. We got something working again. I think, what did I do last time? I'm curious to just try and break it again, because like I don't want to be messing with this again in future if it stops working. Still working now. I changed some of the size things on it, right? So I changed like some of these and some of these. Change that to like 100 at one point, and then change it back to 35. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sugar. I don't know what that used to be.
That was 0.
0, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now try it. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so it doesn't work when we do that. And we think we need to rebuild the nav mesh in here.
Build path. Wow. No. What?
No. No longer works.
I think it's a bug.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine you set up all this custom nav mesh though and it works and then it just stops working all of a sudden. It's pretty stupid in my opinion. But I think we spent enough time on it, I guess, and I probably identified. I would have liked to know, is it like that would have been great if it worked, if we just needed to rebuild it. But hang on, there is a setting you can do on here, the last gasp. Is you can do like a force rebuild on load.
I remember there's also something in project settings that it rebuilds in real time every frame or something.
Okay. Oh, good suggestion by Apollyon as well. Delete the recast. See if one gets added again. They make one? No, if you delete one, it's gone.
No, maybe
unless you
it
go
means
build.
delete and undo.
Oh, no, it's not coming back. I don't think this will work
Good.
now because we have to rebuild.
Another thing.
Oh no, it is back. It is back. No, Apollyon, it's nothing to be sorry about. We're trying to just. I don't know what happened. I undid enough. This is so stupid. Was it just the height thing? I got a feeling this is one thing that it doesn't like. So I'm gonna set that to 100, and then I just reset it, and then I press play. It's like now I want it to break. It's not breaking on me.
Yeah, let's stop trying to break it. Oh.
Okay, the agent size seems to have an issue.
Agent size.
Yeah, so when I change the agent size in here, it broke. It's 35, I believe. So why is there like a white orb on it? So yeah, it's gone. Okay, I have no clue what's going on, to be honest. It just messes up sometimes. And
So can you add one more cube to like between
yeah.
higher cubes and the ground?
Do you mean like here?
Yeah, I like a step.
Okay.
Okay, now it looks like incline, but try to put that target.
Wow, it's magic.
Okay, let's try a higher ramps, not ramps, steps.
Sorry. Higher meaning this just higher up and
Yes, yes, and the other
or the whole
ones.
thing as well. Oh yeah, I moved them all down. I forgot about that.
So for me, even though it was showing that it could go up, it was stuck because of the collisions.
Right.
I had to change the radius of this capsule collider to fix it.
Really? Hmm.
No, yeah, keep it like that and increase the step height to make it step up.
Step height of my Navmesh thing, you mean?
I'm not sure if the step height in the character movement is overriding it. I guess it
Okay.
is. Okay, it cannot go up right now. Character movements. No. Try a higher value, 500, 400, something.
Oh, so step and it'll bypass that altogether, you mean? Yeah, it doesn't make Navmesh on it. So as much as the step height of this, it's not going to even know that it's an area that can be. But that could be the scale of this actually. Yeah.
Okay.
We're on a different path though.
Yeah. He changed things. Butterfly effect.
To this
What did you set the step height?
100.
Yeah, I'll try 5 something. No.
Doesn't go up there, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't feel I have much. I know how to control these things very well.
What if you change it in the nav mesh? Maybe it's not overriding after all. Not that one. Yeah.
Let's first. Let me just have a look how tall this is. 200. Make sure we're giving a sensible number with this, right? Step height. Should let me. Okay.
We want it to step on the first.
Okay, hold on.
Block.
Now, character.
Under it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the nav mesh says, hey, you can get up there, but the character says I can't. Guess we got there, right?
Is that the case? Guess
Seems
yeah.
so, because I just changed the character, this down to 100. We're at the same direction. Set that up. Yeah, you can get up there then. So it's interesting that. Okay, yeah, there is a nav mesh underneath this as well. I guess that's the other thing to remember here. It's not like there's nothing there, it's just going through this surface, which makes it harder to see. Oh, okay, we got the step behavior working now.
With what values?
I changed the step height on the Navmesh to be something a bit smaller, 100.
Yeah.
And then the character was set to 250. It shouldn't need to be that high, to be honest. Probably around it might be enough. This can still get up there.
Okay, this is important. Yeah. And the other one is the slope.
Yeah, I think one is saying like, yeah, what is the landscape for the Navmesh to join vertices together? And so it means that it's pathable between 2 points, whereas the other one is, can you actually get to another piece of Navmesh if there's a height difference of a certain amount? It's a subtle difference, I guess. It's not a huge difference, but okay. I'm trying to even think. What have we learned? I don't even know. I've learned that. Okay, I'm going to write something. So this is definitely not a wasted session, regardless. And we're still going to. I'm still going to do some more, but it's just a case of. It feels frustrating when you get hung up on something. But we're going to try and take away the bits that we have picked up from this. So, for an AI character to move, first, let's just do it very to the point. Create a character class. We want to create a new. We could probably use the previous AI controller class, but it's deriving, not 2 R's. Yeah, and then we just we can use the blueprint node. Which one did we use in the end? Was it AI move to? AI move to. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes we're just adding this to our Navmesh. Actually no, I might try and add what we said. So the Navmesh step size goals the height difference between nodes that it will connect. Is it vertices, edges? Yeah. That kind of makes sense to me. So character step size. Is it non-connected? I might experiment with that again. The Navmesh. I'm not too sure that's good, because if that's true, we should be able to on this set the character size jump size to like nothing. Go ahead and do that quickly. Character movement maximum jump step size of like 10. Do that. First off, this shouldn't work in my opinion. Right, okay. So even though it's connected, it can't get up there. So it is connected. So my explanation here: character step size controls the max height between two surfaces. Yeah, I controlled. One can move. Even if I guess we can say, like, even if the Navmesh is appears as a slope upwards, the character doesn't follow the slope of the Navmesh. We'll still respect the collision of the environment, I guess. Okay, well, at the moment I don't know what else I can really learn from the Navmesh side of things. It seems a bit finicky. I guess it'd be something we can tweak with when we got an example we actually need to work with. I'm going to set our controller thing to only chase when we press K again. So let's yeah, this into here instead, so it doesn't always do that for us. Save that.